Let's just talk about love, let's just talk about life, and never regard later thing. Let's just wait deep.
Familiarity in marriage is super amazing. You get to know everything about your partner. You get to know their strengths. You get to know their weakness. You get to know what they look like in their low times, how messy they can be, how fixed up they can be, how they tend to achieve all they achieve. You get to see them when they conquer challenges. You get to be with them in every season and every phase of their life. So, of course, you get to know almost everything about them. Do you understand? So, it is super amazing to achieve that. But on this episode, we're going to be talking about over familiarity. That is when see finish have entered inside the marriage. That is when see finish have entered inside people's matter. Welcome to another episode of Let's Gist with D, where you get to hear super amazing information about marriage. The gist is always juicy, ever juicy. Thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for hitting the notification button. And always waiting for my next juicy gist. I love you guys. Mwah, 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 mwah. Okay, so in today's episode, we're going to be talking about 10 signs of overfamiliarity in marriage. And trust me, I'm as guilty as you are. So I'm not even here to pretend like I don't do it. I do some of these things. So I'm not acting like I am the superhero here, okay? So these are realities in marriages, and some people do not even know. They tend to experience overfamiliarity. They don't even know what it's called. So I'm going to be giving you 10 signs of overfamiliarity in marriage that you should watch out for and be intentional to ensure you conquer that habit. It's actually not cool because overfamiliarity brings about quarrels, fights, anger, disputes, whatsoever, pain, hurt, and you wouldn't want that. Of course, you love your partner and you will not want to put them in such position. So watch out for these signs. Number one, ingratitude. So he used to be the type that says thank you when he gives you something. He used to be the type that says thank you when she cooks your meal. And suddenly, no more thank you in the house. Nobody says thank you because nobody says thank you to each other anymore because they feel it's your responsibility. It's your duty to do it. It's your duty to give me money. It's your duty to cook. It's your duty to clean the house. So what's the need for the thank you? That is over familiarity. Thank you. Gratitude shows makes the person feel appreciated. Makes the person feel like the effort they put into this union, into this marriage, into this family is worth it, is seen by you. And it makes them feel even loved. So do not take gratitude for levity. Always be conscious to say thank you when she prepares your meal. Always be conscious to say thank you when he gives you money. So please do not take gratitude for levity in your marriage. Number two on our list of signs of familiarity in marriage is being disrespectful and disregarding. So trust me, in marriage is not only one party that deserves respect and regard. The man deserves it. In fact, men feed on it. They adore, they yearn for it. It's what they live for. Okay, so they love respect, they love regard. The same also for a woman. A woman should be respected, a woman should be regarded in private and in the public. As a man, you shouldn't step out of your house and scream at your wife outside. As a man, you shouldn't speak to her like she doesn't deserve to be spoken to politely. There are certain things you do, and you're like, I'm the head of this house, I'm the head of this house, I'm the head of this house, See, talking down on your woman, talking anyhow to her, acting like you can act in whatever way you can, does not make you a man. It makes you less of a man, actually. So note that women deserve respect and regard as much as you do. Because whatever you do to your wife, it means you're giving other people the license to do it to her as well. You cannot disregard or disrespect your wife in the presence of people, and you expect those same people to give her respect and regard. So, whatever you want to be served, serve your partner as well. Do not give her food you cannot eat. Do you understand? All right. So, number three on our list is not showing your emotion. Why? Because you feel they ought to know already. You no longer say, I love you. You no longer say, I'm thinking of you. Don't you think those things are quite important and sweet when you say them? So do not get familiar with certain things. Show your emotion of love. Show your emotion to your partner. Let them know how you feel at every point in time. Imagine some people will even be angry and you keep mute and you'll be giving attitude. You'll be throwing tantrums. Why can't you say, babe, sit him down, this is it, or sit her down, this is this? Rather than keep it to yourself and expect them to know what you're thinking, are they omnipresent and omniscience God? That they will know what you are thinking, or how angry you are, or how happy you are, or how upset you are, or how much you love them. No, they can't. So you need to learn to express your emotion, even if you've been married for 20 years, 100 years. Nobody would know what you think. And the reassurance of love goes a long way. The assurance that you think about your partner goes a long way. Do not get familiar with that. All right? Okay, so number 3 on my list is not saying I'm sorry or not saying please forgive me. That's a sign of over-familiarity. So you hurt them and you feel and they should know that you are sorry now. How am I supposed to know you're sorry if you do not tell me you're sorry? Do you understand? How am I supposed to know you're remorseful if you do not say you're remorseful? So you need to learn to express these things. I am sorry goes a long way. Some people say, Shebi, it's just I am sorry. Waiting go do for your body. You go add anything for your body. You go come out air from your body. You go do this, you go do that. See, yes, if they come out air from my body. My head from my body, they lose. They lost, I should not talk sorry. So you need to learn to say, I am sorry. It melts. I don't know the magic behind I am sorry, but when you tell someone I'm sorry, there is this magical feeling where you just get to feel less hurt, less angry, and whatever. So I'm sorry or please forgive me goes a very long way. Do not get familiar with that. Okay, so number 4 on my list is using their weakness, their past, or secret against them. Kai, that's terrible. That's being wicked. If you do not know, no. That is being wicked. Very, very wicked. Do you understand? Do not do that. Not because you knew she did abortion before, you'd be like, now because you don't do abortion before now, why you never born? Blah, 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 blah. Knowing fully well that they are healthy, you've done tests, you know they are healthy, you know they are fine, and probably this abortion had nothing to do with their childlessness. I'm not saying abortion is good. Please do not be doing that kind of thing. I beg. I beg. It's not even healthy for you. All the same, using their weakness, using their past, using their past pain, past regrets, or whatever it is, past relationship, um, secrets to hurt them, to taunt them, to make them feel less of themselves is extremely terrible. It is very terrible, and that is not even healthy for any marriage. It is not healthy at all. Cut it out of your habits. If you have the habit of using, maybe they wronged you last month and you remember the date, the time, the moment when they were wearing, when they hurt you, please stop it. It is not healthy for your marriage. It is not healthy. Please stop it. Okay? Number 5 on the list is verbal, emotional, and physical abuse. So some men be like, I don't pay your bride price. I don't do everything your papa say or your mama say make I do, abi? Now na my house you dey. Now waiting I want, now you go do. Now waiting I say, now you go do. So even if I tell you say make you put your hand for fire, you guys put that hand for that fire. Some men are abusive. Some women are abusive. It is both ways. In fact, men get abused in marriage. Take it or leave it. Verbal abuse is very, very strong in the mouth of women. Do you understand? So when you become abusive in your marriage, familiarity has entered. Something you don't do before, something you don't do when you were dating them, something you don't even do maybe in the first 2 or 3 years of your marriage, you suddenly start doing those things. Start saying words like you're stupid. Are you foolish? I'm not saying foolish woman like you before. Things you don't say before, you start saying them. Things you don't do before, you start doing them. Watch out. Another one is no more love and passion towards each other. So now both of you are married. All the spark all the butterflies in my tummy, it don't end. Abi? All the passion, all the everything has ended. And oh my god, I can't sleep without you, baby. Oh my god, if I don't see you, I can't breathe. Oh, I just die when I don't see you. It don't end, I mean. So they're not even inside the house with you now. You're seeing them every day. So see finish don't enter. No more love, no more excitement to be with each other. That is over familiarity. You now live like siblings inside the house. You now live like your co-tenants in your house. It is wrong. I hear a lot of our counselors say, be intentional, be intentional, be intentional about your marriage. Be intentional about ensuring it is spicy, it is spiced up rather. Be intentional about ensuring it is exciting. My husband is guilty of that thing. Honey, you're guilty. Babe, I say you're guilty. That day I said let us play game, you say no, you're tired. And then I said let us play game, you say no, you're tired. I don't like it though. I am publicly telling everybody now that I am guilty. Okay, so oh my god. All right, so you need to be excited, do exciting things. You need to be playful. You need to be watch movies together. Do things that make you guys share moments together. Gist, gisting is awesome. Gist everything, do it together. I see I don't apropos this money from my husband. Trust me, my apropos partner he does it a lot. There's always one gist. So it is interesting when you spice up your marriage with exciting things. All right. Do not get too used to each other. Do not fall out of love. Do not fall out of that spark you always had for them. Being reluctant to do things that makes your partner happy. You know that if you do this thing, you know that if you buy this gift, you know that if you wear this dress, you know that if you cook this meal, you know that there are things you do that makes your partner happy, and then suddenly you're no longer excited to do them. You're so reluctant, like, oh, me like para me Jerry. You can't kill yourself. I cannot come back and myself. Do you understand? Oh, I'm tired. You know these things that make them happy and you're no longer bothered about doing them because Kai, you can't kill yourself, Abby. So you need to watch out for those things. No, I'm not saying you must do it every time, but try to be intentional about these things. Try to do things if it's once a week, twice a week. Um, do things that makes them happy. Be intentional about it. Okay? Do not get familiar with that so that your marriage remain interesting for you and for them. Okay, number 8 on my list is when sex become boring. Nothing to look forward to again. Sex is not boring. You have done all this time in this life. Don't tire. You have done it in the kitchen, you have done it in the bedroom, you have done it in the parlor, you have done it in the room. What is swear? You don't know what it's that you want to do again. You're now bored. You're now no longer interested. So you need to watch out for that. Okay. Do things that makes it interesting. Look for things that makes it interesting. See, I'm guilty. Well, I cannot lie. I am guilty of that. I want to sue me sometimes, right? Sometimes you're overworked, you're overtired, you're stressed out, you're exhausted, and sex is the last thing in your mind. Or you have things to pay, you have responsibilities, and your mind is just fixed up in a lot of things, and then you forget that these guys feed on sex, like they live for sex. Could you hear me? They love it. All right. Some ladies too actually have very high drive for sex as well, and it's no longer interesting for you. You need to watch out for that. Okay, try your very best to put in the effort. Sometimes make the first move. They don't always have to be the one to make the move. Sometimes make the first move. And like I always say, sex is a thing of the mind. So if you know you want to be intentional, just prepare your mind that day. Think about everything you want to think about sex. Just prepare your mind for it. And don't trust me. Once you set your mind at something, you do it right and you enjoy it. So set your mind that day, that today, this thing must happen. Even if he comes back tired, even if she comes back tired, I got to lure them to do this thing. I got to seduce them to do this thing. Do you understand? So be intentional about it. Sex tends to bring you guys closer. It tends to make you much more deeper in love with each other. Do not take it for levity. And be careful so that your partner don't start looking out there, looking for where to get satisfied. Okay? That is very important. Men don't joke with it, okay? Ladies, you know they don't joke with it. Even sometimes I used to wonder, say, this is all you guys think about. They don't joke with it. So you should try not to joke with it, alright? This marriage thing, God bless you. Alright, the last on my list is being rude. So your partner talks to you and your response tends to be rude. You don't really care about how they feel when you say what you say. Please, let's watch out for that thing. It's actually not cool when someone talks to you and you give harsh and rude responses or attitudes that are not called for. Do you understand? So if you get over familiar with your partner, you tend to do these things and you start being rude to them somehow, some way, which is not healthy. Okay? So please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can hear more juicy just about the reality of marriage and relationship. Alright? Okay, so these are the 10 signs that overfamiliarity has set in your marriage. Watch out for them and much more. Sit yourself down, think about these things. Do you do them and how do you get out of them? Number one is by being intentional about it. But that's a major thing. Be intentional about not being familiar, over familiar rather, with your partner. Thank you for watching this episode on Let's Just Study. Thank you. I love you.
Let's just with